Better cock your pistols.
You, as heavy as this was, I should have known. I'll take your money, all right. But I would have killed Houston for nothing.
Come on, Houston. For crying in a bucket. Let's open some more of these.
Well, now, come on, we gotta save a couple for when Mama, Vince, and the kids get here. I mean, they want to open some.
Just one, maybe two.
Bo, didn't your mom ever tell you about what killed the cat?
Well, maybe just one more, I guess.
Well, I hope you got something useful instead of all these toys and stuff you're probably just gonna give to some museum. Happy birthday, Houston. Guess who? Now they got guessing games.
Well, Houston will be able to tell who it is from the present.
We never had all these guessing games in my house. You got socks for your birthday and underwear for Christmas.
Buon compleanno! Ecco qua! To toast your birthday, caro Houston. The best. Chianti Classico, the best.
Well, thank you, Mom. Well, listen, did you get here all by your lonesome?
No. Vincent just dropped me off. He's going now to pick the boys.
Well, you're going to be sorry that you're here early because you're going to have to listen to Bo and his favorite subject, which is how poor he was.
Oh.
Y'all go ahead and make fun. I'll tell you, we're poor enough not to waste time on foolishness like this. Look at this, Houston. A mounted rabbit's head and they done put horns on it.
Well, Bo, that's a Texas jackalope. You know, a cross between jackrabbit and antelope.
Jackalope.
Yeah, Mo, they're very rare these days.
Ain't no use at all. Ain't no purpose to it. Wait a minute, it could be a clock. I think it might be a clock. Except where you tell the time's a puzzle.
Why do you think it's a clock?
Because it's ticking.
Oh.
Houston.
CJ, I'm not getting any pulse.
Oh, mio Dio, che disgrazia.
Wait. He's still alive.
I'll call the hospital.
I'm gonna stay with him, all right?
Oh, Vergine Santa, perché non muoia. Dear God, please don't let him die. Oh, poor Bo. Poor Bo.
Doc. Well, your friend has had a lot of luck. If you hadn't gotten him to the hospital so quickly by helicopter, well, I can't promise he'll stay as lucky. He has a severe concussion. There's a subdural hematoma.
Listen, Doc, if you'll just speak English for me, it'll make this whole thing a lot easier.
But if there are any next of kin, they should be informed.
He hasn't really got anybody. I guess I'm about as next to him as anyone.
And we'll hope he continues to be lucky.
Nurse Bartlett, call physical therapy on 214. Nurse Bartlett, call physical therapy on...
Houston? Houston?
I don't know. The doctors are doing everything they can, but I just don't know right now.
Houston! Houston! Come on, let me help. Will you remember me? I'm the police.
We know who did this, Vince. We know.
No, sweetheart.
We know who did it, Vince! What's the matter with you? Don't you read the news? Look at this. Huh? This man is a contract killer. I'm the one to put him away, Vince. Now, he swore if he ever got out, he was coming after me. Well, he filled his end of the bargain. He's out. He gave it his best shot. Now it's my turn. This is just a little something for the paper boy, all right?
Houston, you can't do it this...
CJ, we've got work to do. CJ!
Dirk Bronson. We can't really be sure where he is, though, Houston. But his last known associates are labor racketeers. And he worked for this man, Fred Bothig. Apparently they're quite tight, but whether or not Bothig had anything to do with the breakout, nobody knows.
Well, he knows where Bronson is, and that's all that matters.
Houston. You be careful. You be real careful, okay?
Bronson.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bothig.
It's all right, honey.
But I tried to
No,
keep...
it's all right.
Where is he?
What is this? No introductions, no hello, no nothing?
I asked you, where is he?
All right, it's okay. I know who you are. You got out of your depth, didn't you, putting Bronson away? Well, you're out of your depth here, too. Now, if you're smart, you make a U-turn, you get your tail out of here.
Listen, I asked you a question.
All right.
All right. Down by the water somewhere. I don't know, maybe the marina or something. I don't know. I didn't talk to him. I just heard that. You're a dead man, Houston. I mean, you think you're smart, don't you? Well, you're dumb. You're chasing your tail around trying to find Bronson. You got emotional on this one. It's a big mistake. You should have just stopped and tried to figure it out.
So why don't you educate me?
All right. How did Bronson break out? I mean, he didn't blast his way out, did he? You wonder about that, huh? He got out easy. He greased his way out with money. I mean, that's big money, too. Bronson doesn't have that kind of money.
So somebody broke him out.
Yeah, all right, you win a cigar on that.
Just to get to me.
Huh. Oh, well, you win another cigar. All right, who did it, huh? Why don't you try for the big stuffed panda up there on the shelf?
Castanos.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the look on your face when you heard it.
I don't believe you.
All right, don't believe it, you know. I mean, that's the word on the street. Castanos wanted to buy Bronson, anybody else to get to Houston.
It's impossible.
Impossible, huh? Castanos does the impossible.
It can't be done, that's all there is to it. Simply no way Mr. Castanos could operate from here.
He's segregated from any other of our resident population. He has no visitors. The mail is screened.
No mail in or out, huh?
Mr. Houston, Mr. Castanos is a homicidal, psychotic killer. But this is not Poland, or Uganda for that matter. He is permitted mail. Of course, we would read every word. But there has been none.
None at all.
Hard to imagine, isn't it? One of the world's wealthiest men.
Copper mines, real estate properties, shipping lines, amusement parks, you name it.
Father leaves him an empire, he decides to become Jack the Ripper. Well, when you're through, you let me know. And leave your pass at the gate.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Houston. Happy birthday to you. Did you have a happy birthday, Mr. Houston? I trust at least it was eventful.
It was you, wasn't it?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm insane.
Listen, would you get the doctor for me, please?
Houston, a word of advice. Do the things you always wanted to do. Vacation. See those old friends just once more. And if you are a religious man, pray. You ruined my mission, Mr. Houston.
Your mission? All you did was carve up helpless women.
No. My master, Lord of the netherworld, revered be his name, sent me on a mission to find the soul in the body of women. Inside them. I looked everywhere. You stopped me from finding it. Maybe your associate, that C.J. Parsons. Maybe she is hiding it from me. Inside her body.
Listen to me. If anything happens to her...
Temper, Mr. Houston.
You really got them all fooled, don't you? I should have killed you when I had the chance.
You can't kill me. The police can't kill me. How many bullets did it take for them just to capture me? The doctors say I am a miracle, which I am.
Tell me about Bronson.
Bronson is one. There are others. It is all arranged. I have put it into work. They are going to kill you, Mr. Houston. I chose only the best people. You are going to die.
tough guy. You're gonna talk. It's only a matter of time.
Kiss off.
Get it, Vance. He's too tough a guy. Yeah, you see, tough guys, they consider it gauche to talk, especially where he's going.
Back to McNeil's Island forever.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince, there's just no way to make a tough guy talk these days. I mean, your old proverbial rubber hose, no, that's gone. It's all a thing of the past.
Hey, pal. You put a mark on me in here, I'll scream for my lawyer.
Well, listen, we wouldn't want to bend your civil liberties. No, we wouldn't want to do that at all. But I tell you what, we might tell a little white lie or two.
What are you talking about?
Well, I thought we'd make a couple phone calls, you know, to the judge, the DA, public defender's office. You let them know just how much you're helping us out here, how much you're talking to us, and make sure it goes on your record.
Yeah, you send me back to the joint with snitch pinned on me, I'll be dead within a week.
Is that right? Son of a gun.
$1 million. $1 million and a ticket to the country of my choice. That was the deal.
The price to kill Houston.
Yeah.
You sent me a bomb for my birthday.
It was Castano's idea.
Castano said he hired 3 people to kill Houston. Who were the other 2?
I don't know.
Vince, why don't you make a couple phone calls?
Hey, listen, I'll be straight with you guys.
How'd he get in touch with you?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Castanos. Now, he is supposedly in an institution where he has no contact with the outside world, yet he got in touch with you, he got in touch with the others. He arranged prison breaks. Now, he's got to have a man on the inside. It might be a doctor, it might be an orderly. But I tell you something, you best tell me how he got in touch with you.
There was this guy, an orderly. His name was Felix. Anything we needed, we'd put the move on him, and he'd get us what we needed.
I know Felix. He would cooperate with you even if he was in trouble. I assure you, officer.
Doctor, I don't like to be this blunt, but you're a naive man. Judges do not like to issue warrants to toss a man's room these days unless they have a lot of cause. We've got cause.
Ran a credit check on the man, and he makes $17,400 per year as an orderly in this institution.
I don't know what it is. That sounds right.
Well, Doctor, he doesn't drive a Mercedes to work. Nothing quite that blatant, but he does have a stock and bond account at Eckworth Whitewood and Company that you could retire on. And I'll just bet you it's all due to good old Mr. Castanos.
Doctor, for the moment, we're including you in our confidence, but he must not know we've been here. We'll learn a lot more from keeping him under surveillance than if we arrest him.
Vince, I just came up with a fistful of airline tickets to all over the country. Tell me something. Why would an orderly be flying to all these cities?
Houston, all these airline tickets were to cities that had prisons. But according to Baby, all the cities had prison breaks that were on the same date as the airline tickets. Now, you know about Bronson because you nailed him, but there are 2 men that you don't know about.
Yeah, CJ, how's Bo doing? Is he holding up steady?
So far, so good, Houston. He's out of intensive care.
So far, so good.
Alvin Ambler, he's a very, very heavy hitter. He's mob-related. He is a recent resident of Walla Walla State Prison, and about a month ago he escaped. He's wandering around out there somewhere. New Jersey State Prison, Clevis Sims. He's a killer. And he's killed in many different ways.
Well, I suppose for $1 million and a house of your choice in Switzerland, he probably thinks it's a pretty good line of work.
Houston, these are the men who are hunting you.
CJ, at least we know who they are.
You had dinner yet?
No, I haven't. Where would you like to go,
Well, if I said Tahiti and out of all this mess, you'd say you had things to do. So how about Mama Novelli's?
Sounds good. Why don't we stop to see Bo on the way over there, Stay down.
He slept pretty comfortable all last night and all day that I've been here.
It's the best thing, Mama. I spoke to the doctor. He's encouraged.
Encouraged? Nice word. But he won't say a thing. Siamo sempre lì. God makes the cure and the doctor sends the bill. Although I must say that this doctor seems to be a good man, huh?
Well, thank you for being here, Mom. It makes me feel better.
Of course I'm here. Where else would I be? Oh, by the way, your friend, Mr. Lamar, he called from Texas. I told him not to fly back. There's nothing he can do. And besides, if Bo wakes up and he finds all his friends gathered around his bed, for sure he's going to think he's dying, and poof, up to St. Peter. Oh, how I wish I had that vigliacco that did this in front of me right now.
No, you don't, Mama.
Who is this man that makes war on Houston?
Houston never talked about him, Mama. His name is Castanos.
But is he that bad?
Yes, he's that bad. A few years ago, Houston received a call from a friend of his who was in the diplomatic corps, stationed in Austria. The man's wife had disappeared. By the time Houston got there, they'd found the man's wife. At least they were able to identify her from the dental charts. Castanos left that much. Houston tracked him all through Europe, from Vienna to Corfu, to Rome, to Paris. It was easy because he'd left a trail of bodies. Houston almost caught up with him in London. But the police there got to him first. London bobbies don't carry guns. 3 of them cornered Castanos. He killed all 3, bare hands.
A madman. A madman's strength.
Houston continued to follow him everywhere he went. We followed him until he caught up with him again in San Diego, and he put the police onto him there. Our police do have guns. But it took 13 bullets to bring him down. 13. Now you know why Castanos hates Houston. He's on his way to see Castanos right now.
Mr. Castanos. Mr. Castanos.
Fellows, I need some entry support, please. Houston.
Thank you.
Adonis? Mr. Houston's here. He'd like to speak with you again. Oh, come on now. You've had 8 hours sleep like everybody else.
That's not Castanos. Not him.
Call the infirmary.
Now, don't fight me, honey, or I'll have to hurt you.
Officer, this man was trying to assault me. His name is Alvin Amstel.
I have her.
Get the door. You can do that at least.
How wrong I was. How totally foolish of me to hire people to kill Houston. Why, that was not ordained at all. Think how much fun it can be. Why, it would be delicious. To kill Houston myself, as it should be.
The police are looking for you. I don't think they realize that this is personal between you and Houston.
Oh, no.
I'll tell them. If you let me go,
The soul of man is in women. Did you know that?
I'll tell them. They'll believe me.
You might be the one. I think you might be.
The one?
We're almost there.
You are really very nice, Miss Parsons.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I have to do this now. But it's really for the best. It will save so much trouble.
Damn it, Vince, don't tell me not to lose my temper. Now, you can't tell me in a town with 8,000 cops and one all-points bulletin that you can't come up with one lead.
Look, when I know something, you'll know something. We're doing everything we can. And in the meantime, calm down.
Fine. Would you give me a call if something comes up?
You got it, buddy.
CJ, where the hell are you? CJ, where are you? Castanos?
I have her, Houston. Are you there, Houston? Do you hear me? Houston?
I hear you.
Do you know where I am? It has closed since I went away. We can have it all to ourselves.
Amusement park.
Why not join me? Just you and CJ and me. Let us see what we can dream up for amusement.
Yeah, well, I'm going to join you there, Castanos.
Of course you are. Because you understand she's merely the bait for you. After you, I'll deal with her. And Houston, I think she's the one. This time, I think I'll find the soul. And Houston, alone. If I see the police, I start to work on her. I haven't had much practice. I can work very quickly. But then, of course, you know that.
Mr. Houston, I couldn't help overhearing.
Well, keep it under your hat, would you, Pam?
You have to tell Lieutenant Novelli.
Don't you worry about a thing. I will handle Lieutenant Novelli.
It's just that I'm scared. I've never seen you with a gun before.
No? No, you haven't. This is different.
I know you're here, Castanos. Why don't you come out and show yourself, huh?
Welcome, Houston. You're right on schedule.
Where is she, Castanos? If this is just between me and you, why don't we keep it that way, huh?
Look around you, Houston. I own all that you can see. And now, I own you. And later, I shall own her.
This won't take long, my dear. I'll be back soon. Don't fret now.
I didn't need him anymore, Houston. He would have spoiled it. Your police can find him later. It's just you and me now, Houston, as I promised. So, come ahead. I could have put that one right through your chest.
You swore no cops.
If you got risk leaving her with you, if anything happened to me.
I told you what I would do.
Let's roll. Move out!
Take Castanos out if you can.
Keep shooting! Shoot! Shoot!
Houston, it's over! It's over! Nobody could have lived through that fire we just laid down!
Well, where's the body, Vince?
We'll find him! All right, you guys, check downstream. The rest of you guys fan out. That body's gotta be here someplace.
You all right?
Houston, is it over?
It's over.
Your shotgun, Houston. One shell left, but one is enough.
Now it's over. Oh, my God. He's still alive. Get an ambulance.
I ain't so fragile I need to be mollycoddled.
I'll mollycoddle you over my knee.
Wheelchairs are for babies. Besides, my head's what's got hurt, not my legs.
Welcome back. Hey, listen, how you feeling?
Now you listen to me, Senor Bo. You do as you're told and you behave. The doctor says you stay in the chair. You stay in the chair, capito?
Capito.
Ah.
Oh, there he is. Come on out here. Hey, welcome back, buddy. Good to have you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's good to be back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These things are real.
Ah, he's so stubborn and ungrateful. And he says he don't need no help.
Now, that was this morning before these spells started to hit me. Every once in a while, I feel sort of
faintish.
Yeah, well, I'll bet you it's nothing that something cold wouldn't take care of. You know, like a beer, right, girls?
Yeah, I believe you're right. If you angels of mercy would be so kind as just direct me right over to the beer, I sure appreciate it.
This way.
Thank you.
I'll tell you something, Mama. Sometimes I think that old boy's not as dumb as he looks.
I don't know, Houston.
Yeah.
Ah! Get down in that chair.
No, I'll tell him.
CJ, what's the matter?
That was the hospital.
Castanos.
He woke up in the hospital ward, Houston. Laughed at them. The doctors. Said he was amazed they could think he'd ever die. Then he tried an escape. Dove through the window of the hospital room. He was on the 14th floor. It's over, Houston. He's dead.
Come here.
Better cock your pistols.
Stars. 400 billion in our galaxy alone.
I'm awestruck whenever I consider the sheer enormity. And the irony is that we could ever suppose that there might not be other life out there.
We are all world-class scientists, Burke. You brought us out here to verify your alleged contacts. Are you instead going to subject us to a lecture from Astronomy 1?
They'll come. Conditions are right. They'll come.
We have been here 4 hours. I, for one, am very anxious to see what sort of trickery you have contrived. But let us get on with it.
How dare you?
This is me, Mardosian. You might fool these other puppies, but with me, you are out of your depth.
There. There, you see it? Mardosia. Oh, he's probably drunk.
What's the matter with him? I think so.
Passed out. He's dead. What?
Mr. Houston, yesterday, 5 scientists went into the desert on a somewhat extraordinary project. Those 5 scientists were not working together on this project. They are in competition for the Copernican Award. There is fierce jealousy among them. One of them, Dr. Ivar Mardosian, died.
I read something about that. It was a heart attack, wasn't it?
Yes, well, the fact is, not everything was in the papers.
You mean that there's a possibility that he didn't really have a heart attack, that maybe one of the other
The
scientists...
doctor has been autopsied, and the fact is, a heart attack did occur. But a heart attack can be induced by drugs or...
Excuse me, Ms. Eggstrom, but if in fact you do feel this way, perhaps you should talk to the police because they have resources...
There should be no police, no. The circumstances surrounding Mardosian's death cannot be made public. I must have your word that under no circumstances will you reveal any part of this conversation.
You got it. No,
Oh.
It is the allegation of the other scientists that Mardosian's heart attack took place during the first contact between us and extraterrestrial beings.
You mean like with yeah, little green ones, yeah.
As in little tiny creatures from outer space.
Yes, well, they did encounter something out there last night.
I'm sure.
Little green
There
ones.
was something out there. Now, what the society wants you to do, Mr. Houston, is to prove it. Either way, verify the contact for us or prove that it was an incredible hoax staged to cover up his murder. You must be the judge.
Okay.
All through here. All through this entire area. It's low-level radiation, of course. Like footprints left behind, evidence of their passing. But Miss Ekstrom must have told you all this. See, they approached from there. Always from the same direction. Then they hovered. And then they disappeared. We were all over, gathered by the motorhome. Mardozian was near the tent. But imagine the moment, to be in their presence. It was like touching God.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, listen, I understand everybody here the other night was in contention for the Copernican Award.
My husband talks about touching God, and you talk about trivia?
Well, it's hardly trivia. I mean, that is a pretty prestigious award. It was worth $100,000 in cash, not to mention millions in endowments. You get to be in the limelight, get the respect from your peers. It's a dandy award, yeah. Now, from what I understand, Mardozian was the front runner in the race for it.
No one can accept the fact that Mardozian just died. He was too big a man. Well, this was bigger than he was. Mr. Houston, maybe the Copernican Award would be worth killing for, but Carl wouldn't have to. This contact makes the award his. And we have that contact on film.
You mean to tell me everything that happened last night, you got it on film?
That's right. Slides. The contact, the cam people, everything. It's a scientific record.
Well, that makes me feel a little silly. I mean, if you've got all of it on film, then we've got a record of Mardozian's death.
Well, those slides are still in the lab being developed. But we have pictures of a contact of a few weeks back.
This is bewildering. We tell you we have pictures of beings from other worlds, and you wonder about Mardozian's death? Those pictures are worth 1,000 Mardozians. Or Houstons, for that matter.
Sure.
Grandma Houston would probably disagree with you on that.
The cameras are set up to electronically sweep the camp at random intervals. Now remember, these pictures are from a previous contact.
Here. Here they come.
Yeah, it just looks like lights in the sky to me. I mean, that could be anything.
Watch.
Ah, there. This is a craft hovering directly above our position. And the next frames, Mr. Houston, are probably the most significant photographs ever taken. These pictures were taken after the spacecraft landed.
Stop there. That, Mr. Houston, is an extraterrestrial being. On film. Incontrovertible proof of the first contact between men on Earth and beings from other worlds.
If you say so.
There. There's a head, an arm.
I can't see that.
They didn't come here to pose for portraits, damn it.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't see it. I mean, it could be an arm or a head.
All right. Tonight. You come here tonight.
Darling, please, please. It's supposed to be a top secret. The society doesn't want you to...
The society sent him here to prove this or call you a fraud. You come here tonight.
I'm projecting that conditions will be right. We'll make another contact. And I've asked everyone to be here.
If you met that face to face, would that cure your skepticism, Mr. Houston?
I'll be here. Okay, CJ, let's see the lineup of the people who were out at the camp that night.
Okay, Houston, starting with Ivar Mardosian, the deceased. Now, he is not your stereotype scientist with the glasses and the microscope. This one was referred to as the Rasputin of academia. As a matter of fact, he's a womanizer and a brawler, but tops in his field and first up for the Copernican Award, unless Carl Burke proves his claim that he had contact with extraterrestrial beings.
You mean if I wanted to know who had a good reason for wanting Mardosian dead, Burke would be a very good candidate?
He'd be first in line.
Now, what about Burke's wife? Now, I had a chat with them. Looks like she wears the shoulders in the family.
Well, she's a top photojournalist. I mean, she's dodged bullets in the Middle East. She's taken photographs of sharks in dangerous waters. She's a tough lady, as you say, but she knows the shot she wants to get, and she gets it.
Yeah, she gets the shot she wants. What about anything else she wants? Like maybe the Copernican Award for her husband?
It's possible. Now, this is Barbara Diane Newton. She's an internationally famous mathematical theoretician. Once upon a time, this girl didn't have a dime to her name, put herself through school with scholarships, and under the patronage of Mardosian. It's not a well-kept secret that her sponsorship by Mardosian was paid for favor. Now, this is Stu Glick. He is ingenious, he's ambitious, and he's one of the bright lights of the future in this area. He's the obvious heir apparent to Mardosian's crown and up for the Copernican Award. The question is, would he commit murder for the science prize?
Why don't I ask him?
Why don't you?
Mr. Houston, I don't know how I can help you. You see, it was on us, hovered over us, and then it was gone. Now, I don't know of any man-made vehicle that could maneuver that way.
In other words, you think that that whole contact was real and not just an illusion?
What, to fool 4 world-class scientists? No, Burke isn't that smart.
Well, now, if it could be done, who is smart enough? Who could do something like that?
Me. I mean, why be coy? I'm a very bright guy. After Mardosian, there was only me, which means you needn't bother asking your next question.
Which is?
Could the whole thing have been rigged to cover the murder of Mardosian?
You are a smart guy. Well, what's the answer?
No way. If that had happened, I would have sensed it. I worshiped the man.
Yeah, well, the word is that he was about as popular as a cat in a mouse house.
Of course they hated him. He was a genius. Believe it or not, Mr. Houston, all my life, people have hated me.
May I help you?
Yeah, my name's Matt Houston. I'm looking into the Mardosian death, and I understand you were out there the other night. Did you believe everything that went on out there?
Do I believe, Mr. Houston, in what went on the other night? In other beings? I have spent the past 11 years researching just that subject. You bet I do.
Listen, I understand Dr. Mardosian was working on some similar projects, too, and I wondered how...
Let's cut through all this, Mr. Houston. I had an affair with Mardosian. That is what you wanted to confirm, isn't it? I do wish it were more of a secret, but it isn't. So I live with it.
Well, yes, you're right. I'd heard that he'd taken advantage of you.
Well, at least I can claim my youth as my excuse. Some women never learn. Oh, that's right. There was more than one lady out there that night who had been, I believe the old-fashioned term was, wronged by the man.
Cheryl Burke, Dr. Carl Burke's wife?
Houston. I'm sorry the evening hasn't been more interesting for you, but waiting is the biggest part of science.
Well, I don't mind the waiting. I mean, this is all new to me. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, the wind may jinx us. We've only been able to make contact when conditions were just so. I don't know why that is.
Listen, Miss Berg, I've got to ask you a question. It's usually none of my business, but can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Mardosian?
That was over practically before it began. Why dig up that dirt?
You know why. It's because I have to.
Well, you didn't know Mardosian. He was dashing, his beard, his hat. He overwhelmed you. It didn't last very long. I was swept off my feet, sorry about it in the morning kind of thing. That's really all there was to it.
Well, did your husband know about it?
Doesn't the spouse always know? Maybe we're both just pretending it didn't happen, so it's easier to live with. If we're out in the open, then... I don't know. Carl is a very proud man. There's no telling what he might do.
Well, the problem is that sooner or later it's going to come up again. Somebody's going to bring it up. And, well, after all, your husband is responsible for bringing all the scientists out here the other night. And, well, they did all show up on his personal invitation. Mardosian did die under mysterious circumstances, and...
Are you intimating that my husband staged all of this to kill my lover? Mr. Houston, a lot of people hated Mardosian, including me.
Enough to kill him, maybe?
5 hours is a long time to wait, but Houston was willing to spend the time if E.T. was going to visit.
Well, coffee's up. As exciting as this night hasn't been, it's that. Or toothpicks to prop up eyelids. Anybody else? Ladies?
Something hot? Yes. Not for me, thanks.
We'll pass this down to Houston.
Thank you.
Here, I'll take it.
Bless you.
Too much wind. We won't be making any contact tonight. So we might as well wrap it up.
Keep coming out of it, Houston. Come on. Attaboy. Attaboy, keep coming out of it. Houston, you've been scaring the pants off me. No, just lie back. Don't do anything now.
What about your pants?
Oh, good. At least you're human again.
Human again.
Well, Houston, the last hour you've been talking about little green men and spaceships, really very spooky stuff. Here.
The last thing I remember were some hands. They were reaching out for me. And my car went off the road.
Houston, they didn't find you near your car. You were wandering around on the road like you were drunk. Now, one of the policemen recognized you and called Vince Novelli, and he sent you back here.
Lights. These lights came up behind me, CJ, and they were following me, almost chasing me. And they ran my car off the road, and they're these little tiny hands.
Houston, you're beginning to worry me. You've been talking like that ever since I tucked you into this couch.
CJ, what time did Vince Novelli's boys pick me up out on that road?
Early, about 6 a.m.
I left Burke's desert site at midnight. I lost 6 hours somewhere.
Well, Houston, in the state you were in, you could have lost 24 hours. It must have been quite a party.
CJ, I just drank coffee. That's all I drank. Somebody drugged my coffee, CJ. Somebody did not want me to get home in one piece. I've lost 6 hours, and I don't know where I lost them.
Houston, believe me, you fell asleep at the wheel, hit your head. You were hallucinating.
Was I, CJ? Now, I saw something, and it was there. I know it.
Houston, it's this case. We've been talking about extraterrestrials, UFOs. You thought it was happening. See, it's the power of suggestion.
No, CJ. No, it wasn't. It was out there. I saw it. It just appeared. It didn't make a sound at all. No, it just came in quiet. No sound. Now, what flies, CJ, without making a sound?
Vince Novelli.
Mama Novelli?
Yeah, listen, Mama, is Vince hiding out around there somewhere?
Ah, Houston. No, he's here. Un momento, eh? Vincenzo? Vincenzo? Telefono.
Hello.
Yeah, Vince, listen, are you still flying?
Still beating your wife?
What's that supposed to mean?
That's exactly my question.
No, Vance, I'm not getting personal. I'm asking you, are you still flying hot air balloons?
Why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Yeah, when I can find the time. Why?
Because I have to ask you a question. Now, is it possible to fly one of those hot air balloons at night and navigate to a specific spot and then just kind of stand still and hover?
Houston, that's stupid.
Yes, it is, Vance. It's stupid, but is it possible?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the hovering is the tricky part. The only guy I know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean. He's a French champion.
Yeah, I'll bet you he's in town right now.
Yeah, he's in town for the Trans Am balloon race. How do you know?
Little green man told me, Vance.
Oh. Hi, CJ. How's Houston this morning?
Well, now that's a good question. Let me be honest with you. I'm a little concerned about him. He's been talking about little green men with little tiny hands. Now, that's not like him.
Hi, Houston. Did you take the pledge this morning?
Thanks, Vance.
Now, what about what Houston was saying? To navigate to one spot without sound and hover there. It could be done?
Yeah.
Like I told you on the phone. The only guy I know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean.
Where do I get a hold of him?
His rig should be right over there.
I think I'll have a chat with him. Excuse me, I tell you something. You you are just
Throw
the
me
man
off.
I need to see. Hold on. Could you talk to me for a minute? I understand you're a world champion balloonist.
Stand back, I'm about to fly.
Well, I know this will only take a couple of minutes. See, I had to ask you some questions. Now, I'm an amateur, and I was wondering, now, how can you make a balloon just kind of, well, sit still in midair, you know, like hover? I need some pointers.
I don't give pointers.
Well, now, come on, take a couple of minutes now. I understand that you're the only man in these parts that could make a balloon do those kind of things. Well, it's almost like a UFO.
Out of my balloon.
It's a little late for that. Wait, you're trying to kill me.
No violence. No violence. American. No sense of humor.
I'll show you a sense of humor as soon as we get back down on the ground. It's kind of like the way a hound dog goes after a bone.
Wait! I was only taking off.
Oh, would you come off it now, champ? Now, there was a man killed the other night when you pulled your little UFO stunt out at Burke's place. Now, you're flying yourself straight to jail.
I'm paid to pull off a little joke for that professor, and you're talking jail?
Wait a minute. You mean the professor paid you to pull that UFO stunt?
No, not Burke, his wife. She arranged everything.
Yeah, well, now it's all beginning to make sense.
She gave me $5,000. You think it's a lot of money, I know, but not to do what only I can do.
Just keep going, all right?
Balloons are leaves on the wind. These prevailing winds blow out into that desert. But to pose in flight, I had to invent a machine. Like a great fan. To make the craft hover. And then there was rigging the arc lights and the amplifying horns to broadcast the sound.
Yeah, fine. That's all great. But would you tell me something? Now, why'd you chase me in your balloon last night?
I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't? You didn't chase me down the road from Burke's place last night?
Not only didn't I do it, but it can't be done. That's a winding road out there. No balloonist can regulate his speed and direction to follow a car along that road. Not even I. And I can make a balloon dance.
And listen, if you didn't follow me down that road last night, then who did, huh? Oh, boy. As long as we're out here, you suppose you could dance this thing over to Burke's place? Burke! I don't believe anybody's home. Their car's here. Mr. Burke! Mr. Burke! Matt Houston! God, that's gas. Needs a little air. Is that field phone call an ambulance?
Mr. Burke.
You don't bother. He's not in there. You know, I'll bet you somebody turned on this gas while she was sleeping.
can you hear me? This is emergency. Hello, hello. Hello, I need an emergency ambulance. Ambulance.
The sheriff's station. We hear you loud and clear.
Run that by me again?
The door was locked. And like you, I heard the propane gas. I went around looking through the windows, and I thought she was dead.
That is not what I asked you.
When I saw the balloon, I didn't know who you were. And I thought it would look bad because I didn't want to be seen. So I panicked. I don't know what I was thinking.
Would you tell me why you ran?
I cannot take the scandal, all right? Everyone knew about my relationship with Mardosian, and he is dead. And now I thought that Cheryl was dead. There's nothing more I could do to help her. I am up for tenure at the university. I am up for the Copernican Award.
What's going on out here?
Yeah, we passed an ambulance coming in. Is anybody hurt?
Mr. Burke, your wife was in that ambulance. It seems that the gas was left on in motorhome.
We left her napping. Oh, my God.
No, Mr. Burke, listen, it's fine. She's gonna be all right, just fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's fine. She's taken care of, okay? Just relax. Now, I've got to ask you a couple of questions. Now, where were you just before you got here?
I was at the lab picking up the slides of the sighting.
Yeah, are these the slides of the sighting the same night that Mardosian was killed?
That night, yes. And that's why I called everybody here so they could see the slides.
Yes, he called me early this morning.
So, with these slides, if they're anything like the other ones, they're going to be able to show us the various different camera angles of the movements that went on in the camp that night, you know, in the so-called sighting.
So-called? These slides are a complete scientific record.
I'm sure they are, yeah. But they also might give us a good picture of how Mardosian was killed.
Not to mention my balloon artistry.
And what does that mean?
You mean he doesn't know? He didn't know the whole thing was staged?
It was his wife's idea. She paid me. Still, we have met, yes.
It was a hoax? Why, Burke, you phony old Dickens, you.
Carl, you have spent years pursuing this line of research. You've compromised your whole life's work.
I have seen them. They are out there. I have made contact. But the scientific community needed proof. And proof takes sitting out on a desert. Proof takes money. Cheryl thought that with the money from the Copernican Award, we could make things happen. They're here, I swear it. They're here. They're here.
Fine. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sure they are. They're here. I'll tell you what, why don't we just take a look at these slides, all right?
You're not going to see anything on these slides. Mardosian's dead. And now with Carl and his wife pulling that fraud, well, it's down to you and me for the Copernican Award.
Shut up, Stuart.
May the best man win.
Hold it. Hold it a minute.
Do you see something?
That's Mardosian, isn't it? Yeah, I know it's very hard to make out because it's blurry, but...
It's Mardosian.
Now, a couple of slides back, there was something in the corner. That's it. Look at that. That hand. Now, it's got a wire, and it's touching it to his ankle. Now, the autopsy showed that Mardosian had the same identical burn on his ankle. I will bet you that the other end of that wire leads to a generator.
Electric shock caused Mardosian's heart attack. It's a man's hand.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to tell.
No, it's a man's hand.
We know for sure that it's a class ring, and I think all we have to do is just blow it up a little bit to tell which one it is. Why don't you tell us what school he went to, Glick? Save us the trouble of blowing that up.
Hold it! Hold it!
You had to keep digging and digging, didn't you? I should have killed you the first time you came up here.
So that was you that was shooting at me from behind those rocks?
Of course it was me. Who'd you think it was? I wanted to make sure that you didn't buy that heart attack. I knew you would investigate. I knew you'd find out it was a hoax. After that, there should have been only one answer. That Burke staged the whole thing to kill Mardosian over his wife.
It might have been a very good reason, but tell me something. Why did you kill him?
Because I was sick and tired of being in his shadow. That's why I killed him. You know what a difference that award would make for the rest of my life? Do you?
So, you got tired of being the protege, huh? That's right, and you couldn't wait for him to retire.
He would have gone on forever. Retire. I had the whole thing figured out perfectly. Perfectly. Except the question mark was that film. It was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, but I had to figure out what was on that film. I had to find out for myself. Oh, the angles. The cameras couldn't have possibly recorded those angles.
That's right. See, I have a little confession to make. I told my associate, Murray, to doctor up a couple of those slides, and we paid off the lab boys to slip them in with Burke's badge.
How did you know?
You see, I really didn't know, but I had to take a chance. You see, I knew you all wore the same college class rings, but I took a 50-50 chance, used a man's hand. I went fishing, Glick, and you took the bait.
Under other circumstances, I would tip my hat to you.
What are you going to do to us?
Take at least a day or so, if you're lucky, to get out of this desert. By then I'll be in Mexico. Better yet,
No, please.
you, come with me.
No?
Come on.
Hold.
Listen, now, if I'm to get this thing down on the ground, I'm certainly gonna need you. It's a big cliff. It's coming quick.
How far off the ground are we?
1,000 feet, maybe.
If we hit the cliff, the balloon shreds, we drop like a stone. Throw off the ballast.
Yep, ballast.
Turn up the burner.
Yep, burner.
We're close to the cliff.
We're about 20 feet. Well, it's 15. Oh, we made it. So how bad is that?
I have to be all right. I won't give him the satisfaction of dying.
Vive la France.
Vive le Houston.
Yeah.
There's the Big Dipper. And the Little Dipper. There's Capricorn. And if you look, you can almost see the stinger on Scorpio's tail.
Murray, you don't need a telescope to appreciate the stars. There's just something about the stars. I don't know, something to dream on.
Yeah, something to wish on. CJ, you see that brightest star right up there? They call that the wishing star.
Houston, if you could make a wish, what would it be?
Well, I think I'd wish that I knew for certain what that was following me down the road the other night.
Oh, Houston, we've been all through that. I mean, those police helicopter patrols go up and down that road all the time.
CJ, this was not a police helicopter. I mean, they make noise, and this thing didn't make a sound. CJ, I saw things. I mean, those hands reaching out for me, and the men, the little tiny men.
That matter could have been the lights of an oncoming car, especially in your condition.
Face it, CJ. Houston had a close encounter. ET, UFOs, all that stuff. Consider yourself lucky, cowboy. You could have been beamed aboard an alien spacecraft. What would you have done then?
Phoned home.
Better cock your pistols.
I sure appreciate you all coming out here like this. I know you're aware that I just got in from Europe. Now, I want you to know that we did close the Rotterdam shipyard deal out there, and it turned out very successful. I think we'll make $1 or $2 on it. Now, you'll have to excuse me because I am suffering a little bit from jet and brain lag.
Houston, this condominium conversion proposal is not going to require much of your time. Now, my brother Murray told me never to waste any of your time, so I'm not going to waste any of your time, Houston. Now, let me get right to the point. With me, I've got graphs, I've got computer projections, I've got charts, housing density reports, water tables, blueprints, models. I've been to the mayor's office, checked on building permits, and as a matter of fact, I'm sure that any question you might have, that either myself or one of my able-bodied assistants will be able to help you with.
You always talk this fast?
Well, as a matter of fact, sometimes I talk faster. You know, time is money, money is time. And
Fine.
you just time.
Myron, fine. See, it's because of your brother Murray that I don't have any time today. See, he's sitting in Singapore waiting for CJ and I. We're on our way to the airport. He's got another sweet business deal.
Well, that's absolutely no problem because I can sum this all up for you in 5 minutes.
You got 2 minutes.
But, Houston, you don't understand.
The clock's ticking, Myron.
Okay, the apartment complex in Denver. Now, if I can just get you to direct your attention to the platform over here, I think this will help clarify.
I thought he was going to the Orient. What are all those men doing down there?
Looks like they're having a business meeting. I read an article about Houston in Playboy. It says he often conducts his board meetings around his pool or his private jet flying off to some exotic location.
Mike, there she is now.
Oh, yeah.
Such a pretty lady. Too bad.
Why? Everybody has to die sometimes. Today's just C.J. Parsons' turn. That's all.
And recommend it as a go project.
Yeah, I tell you, Myron sounds like a real money-making son of a gun, and I would go along with you on it, except, CJ, if you are going to make it to the airport on time, I think you best go by your place and get your luggage.
Can I take Lamar's wagon?
Well, you can use my car.
Houston, we're going to be in the Far East for 2 weeks, right? So I packed a little more luggage than
Yeah, well, fine. At least you'll take the wagon.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, there's a trailer in back of the barn. You can hook that up. It's got all kinds of room.
Myron, why don't you recap that condo deal for Houston?
Great. You know, as a matter of fact, there are a few details that I neglected to cover. First of all, the mayor in Denver is not particularly happy with the fact that
Myron, just hold up a minute. See, I do have a problem with these condo conversions. Now, I don't believe the people that are living in those apartments right now are going to be able to afford $150,000 that we're asking for the conversion.
Well, that's absolutely no problem at all. We're going to have people standing in line to grab up these units.
Myron, it is a problem. See, I don't think it's right to kick those people out of their apartments just because they can't come up with the price of our condo.
Houston, we're talking business.
No, Myron, you're talking business. I'm talking people. This meeting's adjourned, folks.
Catboy 1, come in. Catboy 1, this is Legal Eagle. I've got a Mayday on Deep Creek Road.
Houston, it's CJ. Your CB radio. I just heard it. Trouble on Deep Creek Road. It's a Mayday.
Excuse me, fellas.
Mike, this is crazy. Let's get out of here.
I want to make sure she's dead first.
Of course she's dead. Nobody could survive that.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm telling you she's dead. Yeah. And takes care of Reynolds, Baxter, and now Parsons. Just 2 more to go, and a whole week to do it in.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure. Hey, isn't that Houston's car?
Let's get out of here. Come on.
First this.
Now she is dead.
CJ, can you hear me? No, easy, CJ. It's me, Houston. CJ, listen, are you all right?
Houston, those men, what happened?
CJ, listen, just take it easy. I'm just gonna get you to the hospital, all right?
Houston, they looked like Laurel and Hardy. They tried to run me off the road, and they said that takes care of Baxter, Reynolds, and now Parsons.
Yeah, come on, I'll get you to the hospital. We'll talk about
Houston, they looked like Laurel and Hardy, and they tried to kill me.
Come on, let's go.
I ditched the pickup.
Tell me what you see.
I see Houston is carrying her to his car.
Is she dead?
Well, she has to be dead. I mean, the way that thing blew up.
Idiots. All right. Find out what hospital Houston is taking her to, and then make sure C.J. Parsons gets her medicine.
I can only give her advice. Can't make her take it.
Thank you, Doctor. Come on, CJ. I mean, listen to the man, would you? I mean, he says you have a slight concussion. What's it gonna hurt if you stay here overnight?
Big deal, Houston. Everybody gets a concussion.
Everybody gets a concussion, but would you just listen to me? I mean, sit down, all right? Now, I am worried about you. You are a very lucky lady. If you didn't have those seatbelts on, you might not have come out of that accident alive.
Houston, I'm going to say this again. It was not an accident.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but this is what they looked like. Except for Hardy, the fat one had a scar right here on his face, and Laurel had a hook for a left hand.
A hook?
A hook. And after the crash, when they thought I was dead, I heard them very clearly say that takes care of Baxter, Reynolds, and Parsons.
CJ, do you know a Baxter or a Reynolds?
Yes, Belinda Reynolds and Kathy Baxter. We were sorority sisters in college.
How do I get in touch with these ladies?
They live in L.A., and their phone numbers and addresses are back at the office.
I'll get in touch with them.
Houston, those 2 men said something else. They said that they had only 1 week left to get the other 2.
CJ, just how many more sorority sisters do you have living in L.A.?
2. Maureen Flanders and Carolyn Master. Their phone numbers are back at the office.
All right. Well, I'll get in touch with all of your sorority sisters and make sure everything's all right. Just do me a favor, please. Just stay here until the security men get here, all right? Okay. Thank you.
For what?
Not letting them kill you.
Nurse Bartlett called physical therapy on 14. Nurse Bartlett called physical therapy on.
Sorry. Here, let me help you.
Thanks for giving me a hand.
It's all right.
Gloved hand.
Let's get out of here.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Classics Club. Tonight, you're going to meet some of your old favorites. Charlie Chaplin, W.C. Fields, Groucho Marx, Laurel and Hardy, and many, many others. Laugh at them all over again and enjoy yourselves.
Well, Stanley, let's go to work.
That's a good idea.
Oh! Oh!
Reminds me of a time, many years ago, when I discovered the Aqui Indians drinking the juice of the cacti. I hear they're going to tear you down and put up an office building where you're standing. Godfrey Daniels.
Hey, why are you staring at that young lady?
Well, except for that mustache, she looks just like my Uncle Harry.
Oh. Hey, I know your Uncle Harry. He doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah, but she does.
Oh. She does not excuse us.
You have a wonderful place here. So nostalgic. Really brings back memories.
You pay us great honor. Please, come back and see us often.
How much would you charge to stand at the wrong end of a shooting gallery? Didn't we meet in Weehawken? Perhaps not.
Darling, I'm sorry I'm late. There's so much to be done. The caterers and the dressmaker and then
Frankly, I don't think Prince Charles and Lady Di went through half as much preparation for their wedding.
Oh, it's just that I want our wedding to be so perfect.
And it will be perfect. Because there'll be you.
6 more days. Oh, Jonathan, I'm so excited. I feel like a schoolgirl.
And you look like a schoolgirl.
You're sweet, but I haven't been a schoolgirl since...
We agreed never to mention age.
You're so much younger than I.
Elizabeth, beauty has no age. It simply is.
Say, Ollie, what does that remind you of?
I don't know. What does that remind me of?
Well, that's a Thursday.
How could that possibly remind anybody of Thursday?
Well, it's easy, you see. There's a Monday, and a Tuesday, and a Wednesday, and a Thursday.
Hold out your hand. You heard me. Hold it out. We have trouble.
Excuse me, will you, darling? I'll change.
Hurry back.
I'd rather have 2 girls at 21 each than 1 girl at 42. What's he gargle with, razor blade?
Now, why do I have the uncomfortable feeling that C.J. Parsons is still among the living?
Houston lucked out again.
Lucked out?
Yeah.
What are we running here, huh? A crapshoot?
If you ask me, we should have pulled the plug.
No one's asking you.
Mr. Renfield, this job's been jinxed since the first day. I say that what we ought to do is...
Listen! That woman out there is worth more money than the 2 of you can count. In no way are we going to pull plugs, turn back, or abandon anything. Ever!
What about Houston?
Yeah, fat chance he's gonna let us snare that Parsons girl again.
Then pull his plug.
While you were making your police report, I checked on my friends. About 10 days ago, Kathy Baxter, one of my sorority sisters, was killed when her car blew a tire and she plowed into oncoming traffic.
Police classify it as an accident?
Same as they would have classified me as an accident if I wasn't here to disagree.
It's quite a fire.
Happened about a week ago. 5 people killed, including another sorority sister, Belinda Reynolds.
Arson?
Bullseye. Last time I saw Belinda, she was worried about her son's eyes, about his having to wear glasses or something like that. Funny what you think of at times like this.
Yeah. Listen, what else have you got on your 2 living sorority sisters?
Maureen Flanders turned out to be one hell of a lawyer.
Local?
Junior partner with a Century City law firm.
So, has she had any recent accidents or near misses?
Well, I called her and filled her in, and she's scared, but she's okay.
That's a pretty lady.
Doctor. Carolyn Master. First in her class, voted most likely to accomplish everything.
Did she?
Well, she thinks so, Houston. She gave up the big bucks to operate a free clinic in East L.A.
Have you heard from her lately?
Alive, well, and happy.
CJ, listen, I want you to get a hold of our security people and arrange for around-the-clock protection for these gals. Now, I want you to stay put and get a little rest. I'm going to talk to your sisters.
Oh, brother.
Well, judging by your tone, Myron, it sounds like your mission was unaccomplished.
Houston, L.A. is one very large landmass.
Like you said, Houston, mission unaccomplished.
Look, I tried, I really tried. I checked TV stations, theatrical agents, little theaters, comedy clubs, even parking lots.
And no Laurel and Hardy's, huh?
Zip. I did find a terrific Abbott and Costello, though. You know, those guys always did put me away. You remember that routine that they did with the who's on first and the second, third, what?
Myron, listen, I'd love to send you on an Abbott and Costello mission, but they're not the ones that are killing people. So keep looking for me, would you please?
Will do.
Yeah.
I mean, 10-4. Well, it's detective talk.
Flanders? Oh, I'm sorry, Matt Houston. I'm a touch late. Listen, I just walked right through your outer office.
I thought I locked it. Sorry to look like I was on the verge of a coronary, but I was a touch scared.
Well, CJ said she filled you in.
Kathy, Belinda, now CJ. It's bizarre. I mean, we're just sorority sisters, girls from Sigma House. No deep secrets. Why would anyone want us dead?
I've got some very good leads, and hopefully I'll have some more soon.
What do you want from me?
Information. See, if you can think of something, a common denominator, other than the fact that you're all sorority sisters, it just might help me. Now, I've got CJ making a list back at the office. Now, maybe if you did the same thing, it could help. Just something that might point me in that right direction.
I just don't know. Frankly, I've been out of touch with most of the others. I guess it must be the workaholic in me.
Listen, you gotta think hard, Maureen. Think real hard. Now, it's important. Something that might give me an answer.
I don't know. I keep going over the day the 6 of us graduated, the party we had.
Wait a minute. 6? I thought there was only 5 of you.
Oh, Mary Ann McDonald was a sorority sister. But she died 4 years ago, car accident. But I'm sure her death has no bearing on this.
Yeah. I'm not so sure. Now, I can't be sure that you're not next on the killer's hit list. Come on, let's go.
Where to?
We're going to your house. I've got a security guard waiting for us. Be there when we get there.
It's me.
CJ, I thought I told you to go home.
I am home. One of the reasons I'm calling is to see if Maureen is okay.
Maureen is fine. I just took her home. Listen, she told me about Mary Ann McDonald.
My God, Mary Ann. Must be my concussion. I completely forgot about her, Houston. You don't think her death's connected to this, do you?
Well, it was a car accident, right?
I'm scared.
CJ, did the security man get there?
Yeah, all 3. Fort Knox should be so safe.
Yeah, well, you mean a little bit more to me than Fort Knox. Did you come up with anything else on the other sorority sister?
The other reason I called is because there's a message on my answering service from Carol. She said she wants to talk to you right away and will meet you at your office.
I'm on my way. Listen, you get some rest. I'll talk to you in the morning, all right? Houston, I'll be up in my office for a bit, all right? Barney. Still alive. Operator? Matt Houston, listen, I need an ambulance right away, please, at the Houston Inc. building. It's 100 Century Plaza South. Thank you.
Houston, we gotta make him what was left of that guy who took a swan dive off this building. Name Richard Hunter, would-be comedian, Philadelphia, in town about 6 months.
Any other occupation?
Like I said, failed comic, got desperate. You name it, he'd do it if the price was right.
All of which tells us absolutely nothing.
Yeah, except for the fact that these two fellas, one of which was on the concrete at the base of my building, could have been working for somebody who masterminded these murders. Vance, thanks for coming down. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the coffee.
Bye-bye.
Bye, CJ.
You know, I sure wish you hadn't come down here. Why didn't you stay home?
Come on, Houston. First my sorority sisters, now you. How am I supposed to stay at home?
It's a good point. Let's go to work. All right, CJ, these are all the players and their common denominators, at least the ones we know of.
I checked the out-of-state sorority sisters. They're all fine. Houston, listen, I'm worried about Carol. I spoke to her on the phone. I filled her in. She said she was going to meet me here at the office. It's been quite a while, and she hasn't shown up.
Oh, yes, she has.
Doc!
CJ.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
Fine. How you doing?
You look great.
Thank you.
Matlock, this is Carol Lemaster, the best sawbones Harvard ever gave a sheepskin to.
Well, Dr. Lemaster, you can take my pulse anytime.
Well, I only wish we were meeting under happier circumstances.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the information that you girls give us will prevent us from coming up with another eulogy. Now, your lawyer friend, Maureen, she told me there was a common denominator that we don't know about yet.
What's that?
Mary Ann McDonald.
But she's been dead over 4 years. What could Mary Ann's death have to do with us now?
You tell me.
Well, there's not much to tell, Houston. She was a lovely girl, voted most popular in the sorority.
And she was lucky. Everything fell into place for her. Mary Ann was bright, pretty. She met a real Prince Charming and got married. Just like a fairy tale.
Except for the ending.
Yeah. Listen, Maureen told me that Mary Ann died in a car accident. Now, where was that?
San Francisco.
Oh.
Houston, where are you headed?
San Francisco. I want to find out about the so-called accident. Doctor, it was a pleasure.
Is he always like that?
No, sometimes he does things on the spur of the moment. Excuse me. Houston Industries.
CJ, Myron, put Houston on the phone fast.
Myron, he's left for San Francisco.
San Francisco? But I think I found half of what he's looking for. Hardy, but no Laurel.
That's because Laurel is dead.
Kidding. The top floor? Ooh. Okay, I'll keep an eye on Hardy until you hear from Houston. Right. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, miss.
Okay, but the next guy that grabs him, he gets punched out.
Oh, they used to call me Snow White, but I drifted. Oh.
Phone call I got says you come all the way up from Smogsville just to talk about that accident 4 years ago.
It was an accident.
Oh? Cheers. Well, here's the story. I'd been off of homicide for about a year, assigned a traffic detail, and we got this call that a brand new car was doing a Brody off the Golden Gate Bridge. 220 feet straight down, plop.
Yeah, and inside that car were the newlyweds, Mary Ann McDonald Singer and her husband, Charlie Singer.
Well, we found her, not him. She was strapped in, seatbelt.
So you just assumed that his body was swept away by the current?
I didn't assume nothing. The guys down at headquarters, that's what they settled on. But to this day, me and my partner don't agree with none of them.
Your partner? You know, something I'd kind of like to talk to him, too, if I could.
Well, you are talking to him. It's this way, kid. Ever since I was a rookie, I've had this feeling in my head that I call my partner. And whenever I was out on a case and there was something fishy, my little partner would start hammering on my head. And he sure as hell was hammering that day of that accident, I'll tell you.
Didn't City Hall think it was a little strange? I mean, they never found a husband's body. No records on the man. It was as though he didn't exist.
As you know, City Hall does a volume business, quick turnovers. You know, they reach a point where they have to F and F. File and forget.
Oh, yeah. So that's when the case ended.
For them, but not for me and my partner. We were hooked. We just kept digging even after they retired me. Nuts.
Yeah, well, and then what happened?
And 6 months before she married Singer, Mary Ann McDonald came into some money, like $500,000.
Let me guess, you and your partner checked it out. Turns up that her bank account was bone dry.
You got it, kid.
Yeah, listen, was there any trace of this husband after that, any at all?
Oh, yeah. Me and my partner, we tracked him down to Utah last year, Arizona before that.
It was the same M.O., right? All he did was marry wealthy women, then get rid of them in a prearranged accident.
That's him. I know it's him. But every time I mention it, you know, somebody says, hey, Section 8, baby.
I don't think you're crazy, Buster. I just think you're one hell of a cop.
Ex-retired cop. You know, I wasn't going to show you this until my partner checked you out.
Well, what's your partner's verdict?
Oh, he thinks you're a pretty good egg. Yeah, I won a big daily double one time, and we used the proceeds to track Bluebeard all the way down to New Mexico. And that's him, the groom.
Tell me something, Buster. Can I hang on to this for a bit?
Only on one condition. If you catch that creep, you let us know. Me and my partner would feel vindicated if you did nail him.
You got it. And I'll tell you what, tell your partner I'd like to buy both of you a very expensive dinner. You know, steak and lobster. Who knows, maybe we'd come up with a big bottle of champagne.
Oh, he'd like that.
I bet you he would.
All right, come on now. From now on, shirts and ties. That's it.
Mr. Houston, it's Murray. He's calling from Singapore. He's still waiting at the airport. He has to know what to do.
Murray, get a hotel.
I haven't met the chap. Oh, Houston? How was San Francisco?
Well, I think I'm one step closer to finding your would-be killer, CJ. Listen, ladies, I need to ask you all a question. Now, are any of you planning on attending a social event this week, say, like a wedding?
I am.
And so am I.
Ditto.
Ditto. So you're all going to a wedding?
Aunt Liz's.
Who's Aunt Liz?
Aunt Liz, Elizabeth Davis, as in Davis Diamond Mine, Davis Steel Mills, Davis Land Development.
You might say Aunt Liz is the patron saint of our sorority.
Founded it back in the year of the flood. Supported it ever since.
You obviously don't read the social columns, Houston. It's going to be the wedding of the decade.
Does anybody here recognize the groom in this photograph?
It's Charles Singer.
The man who married Mary Ann 4 years ago.
We were Mary Ann's bridesmaids.
The man has made a career out of marrying rich women, and then he kills them off, like he did Mary Ann, and like he plans to do with Aunt Liz.
Houston, this doesn't track. Now, why would he want to kill the three of us?
It goes like this. Now, he knows that Liz is connected with the sorority sisters. Like you said, the wedding's going to be a very large media event. He's afraid one of you is going to recognize him from a picture, because it'll get in the newspaper, on television, no doubt.
Houston, where did you get that picture of Jonathan Renfield?
What do you mean, Jonathan Renfield?
The owner of the Comedy Classics Club.
Jonathan Renfield is the name of the man Aunt Liz is going to marry.
Didn't CJ tell you that I found the latter half of Laurel and Hardy last night at Renfield's club?
Myron, I forgot. I didn't have a chance.
Now, are you positive that the man in the photograph is Jonathan Renfield?
Well, of course it is. I talked to the man while I was there last night.
Better get a hold of Aunt Liz and warn her, CJ.
Elizabeth Davis, please. Well, could you tell me where she is? This is urgent. Yes, thank you. She's at Renfield's club.
Call her pronto.
Yeah, the number's right here on the matchbook.
Hello, CJ. How are you?
Are you all right?
Well, never better. Why do you ask?
Listen, I don't have time to explain. I want you to listen to me and just trust me. I'm here with Matt Houston. Now, he has proof that the man you're about to marry is a killer.
CJ, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
But what in God's name am I supposed to do?
What you do is nothing. You stay right there. Matt and I are on our way over now.
That was CJ Parsons with some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that Matt Houston knows all about your unsavory past.
And the good news?
Miss Parsons and Mr. Houston are en route here to rescue me from your evil clutches.
Well, then, we'll have to prepare something very special for their arrival, won't we?
What if Renfield doesn't want to see us?
Well, CJ, he won't really have to see us. I mean, we know what he looks like by just photo.
Well, Myron says he likes to dress up like Charlie Chaplin a lot.
Oh, well, I mean, if that's true and he does it today, it's going to make things a whole lot easier. It's not going to be a problem. It's just going to be a piece of cake. Oh, boy. CJ, maybe if we just mingle amongst them for a while, sooner or later we'll run into him.
I don't think we're going to score that way.
Oh, but you did score. Now, I want you to do exactly as I say, Mr. Houston. You too, Miss Parsons. I thank you for your cooperation. But just head over to that door over there, please. Now, go ahead.
CJ, welcome. I haven't seen you since one of my weddings.
And never mind the amenities, Jonathan. Did you bring the car on the front?
Yes, ma'am.
CJ, why do I get the distinct feeling that Aunt Liz is not playing on our team?
Simple. I now have a team of my own.
Meaning Mr. Renfield here has been your second man all along. Just tell me something, why are you doing this?
When I fell in love with Jonathan, and I do love the man, I had a complete background check run on him. It told me everything.
You knew that he killed 2 previous wives and 3 sorority sisters.
Lizzie, you've got to be sick. Why didn't you just elope and save all the publicity?
Elope? The daughter of Horace Pennington Davis elope? Mr. Houston, we're members of the aristocracy. And when we married, like it or not, it's a media event.
And you went along with all this? Knowing full well that 5 innocent ladies would have to die?
I went along with all this because Elizabeth has enough evidence to send me to several gas chambers.
Yes. If after Jonathan and I are married, I should suddenly die, then that evidence will immediately find itself in the hands of a very dear and old friend, the chief of police.
CJ, I never did like name droppers. CJ, watch her phone Vince.
easy! Well, you win some, lose some. Right, Houston?
Houston, take it easy! Take it easy! Tried to kill CJ.
Used to forget this guy. He's going to jail for the rest of his life. He's not worth it.
Maybe you're right. And then again, he... This might just wet your whistle here. Oh, doesn't that look good?
Looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Tell me something there. What's a fellow like you doing running a bar? I mean, being a retired cop and all is a little dangerous.
Yeah, but, you know, a little more income.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
You know something? Renfield was a real pro. I mean, it's just like with all his victims. He really did his homework on Elizabeth.
I found out that Aunt Liz was a classic comedy freak.
And he built the classic comedy shop just for her.
Hey. Well, Mama. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Yes, Mama.
What a handsome man.
Who, Mama?
Well,
Oh, that's Mr. Buster.
oh, so he's the one who was a big-time San Francisco policeman, huh?
Yeah, he supplied all the information to help Houston break the case.
Boy, they sure got good-looking cops in that San Francisco.
Ma, they got good-looking cops in L.A., too.
Really? Oh, you could have fooled me. Oh, buonasera, CJ. Houston?
Listen, Mama, I'd like to meet a friend of mine, Buster.
Oh,
how do you
do? How is Mrs. Buster?
Well, there is no Mrs. Buster. I'm a widower.
Oh, what a coincidence. I'm a widow, too. 15 years. 15 lonely, long years.
Won't you sit down,
Oh,
Mama?
I really shouldn't.
Mama, what are we going to have for dinner? We're starved.
Oh, yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, dinner would be a great idea.
Oh, I accept, Mr. Buster. I know a wonderful restaurant. You know, they make cafe that's not as good as mine.